Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start with chapter 13, Electricity and Circuits. Topics covered are Introduction, Electric Cell, Advantages of Electric Cells, Dry Cell or Electric Cell, Electric Bulb, Electric Circuit, Electric Switch, Electric Conductors and Insulators, and how does an electric torch work, and electrical safety. So these all topics we are going to discuss in this chapter. Introduction. Electricity is a useful form of energy. So children, here we can say that what electricity is a useful form of energy, and here what you can see that it plays a very important in our daily life. Now children, here we will see that we use electricity to make our work easier. Now why we are using? Because it is making our work easier. For example children, you can see that it is useful to run pumps that lift water from the ground to the water tank. Now in this picture you can see that this pump is helpful for us to just take the water from the ground to the crops. It is also used for functioning of televisions, computers, refrigerators, geysers, air conditioners, electric fans, electric bulbs, etc. Now here you can see that electricity, why it is helpful? It is helpful for all these household appliances you can see in this picture, like for dishwasher, washing machine, refrigerator, toast machine, mixer, fan, lamp, television, pressure cooker and coffee machine. For all these old household appliances, this electricity is necessary. You can realize the importance of electricity when the power supply at home breaks down suddenly. Naturally, here you can see that when you will understand the importance of electricity when there is a breakdown of electricity in your homes. So that time what do we use? We use what? Generators or inverters at the time when there is a breakdown of electricity supply. So this generator and inverter is very helpful children when there is a shortage of electricity or there is a breakdown of electricity supply. So this equipment also gives electric energy. So with these two equipment, that is a generator and inverter, we get electric energy. Sometimes we use a torch to see at night. When we switch on the torch, the bulb glows. Naturally here you can see that sometime at night what we use torch also, and when you put the switch on, so what you can see, the bulb glows. Now here we will see that how does the bulb glows. The electric cells are the source of electricity in an electric torch. Now what you can see that what the electric cells in this torch, they are the source of electricity. That's why the torch is getting on with the help of the electric cells. They supply electric energy, that is electricity, to the bulb in the electric torch when the switch is pressed. Now here what you can see that when it is getting supply, this torch, when we are putting the electric cell in the torch and when we are putting the button on, so the bulb is getting on and we are getting the light from the torch. Electric cells are common source of electric energy for many equipments. So here we can see that electric cells, they are very common source of energy for some equipments. So here we can see that when electric cells are used, you can see it is used in transistor. This is a transistor where the electric cell is used. It is used in calculators, then wristwatches, then remote TV remotes, in that also we are using electric cells. Then in the toys, video games, then clock, wall clock, in that also we are using electric cell. Then cameras, you can see in this picture, in this camera also there is electric cell, and video games. So this electric cells are used in this all these equipments. Children, now we are going to discuss about electric cell. Advantages of electric cell. So electric cells are lightweight so that they are portable and can be carried easily. So children, here we can see that what this electric cell, it is light in weight and it is portable, means it is small in size. That's why we are able to carry it easily anywhere. They produce a very small amount of electricity, so they are perfectly safe and one can handle them without receiving electric shocks. Actually here you can see that what they are produce very small amount of electricity. Because of that only it is perfectly safe and we can carry it anywhere without receiving any electric shocks. And they are not very costly. So it is not very costly also children, this electric cell. They do not contain any liquid chemicals that can be spilled. Means children, here we can see that it is not containing any chemical liquid that can come out of the cell. And they supply a steady electric current, and it is supplying a very steady electric current. Dry cell or electric cell. A cell consists of an outer covering made up of zinc. Still in this picture you can see that this electric cell, the outer covering is made up of what? Zinc. So it is a zinc container, and at the center of the container of carbon rod with an metallic cap generally made up of brass is placed. So you can see that at the center what? There is a carbon rod, and on the top it is a metallic cap, and that is what it is made up of brass. In this it is placed. This carbon rod is surrounded by a mixture of magnesium oxide and powdered charcoal, that is carbon. So here you can see that what this carbon rod, how it is surrounded. It is surrounded by what? A mixture of what? You can see this, that is the magnesium dioxide and the powdered carbon, that is the charcoal. So this carbon rod, it is surrounded by a magnesium oxide and a powdered charcoal, that is carbon. The remaining space inside the zinc container is filled with a thick paste of ammonium chloride, that is NH4Cl. Now here you can see what the remaining space, how it is filled. It is filled with what? That is a ammonia chloride. You can see another place here. It is filled with the ammonia chloride, that is NH4Cl. And the outer side of the zinc container is covered with a cardboard cover. So now here you can see that how the outer side of the zinc container, how it is covered. It is covered with a cardboard cover, except the bottom. The bottom is not covered. Only this outer part is covered. And you can see, children, what? The cell is sealed except the metallic brass cap with the base. Actually, here you can see what? The cell, it is sealed except this cell with what it is? It is sealed. But except what is not sealed, that is the metallic cap made up of brass, that is not sealed. Other full it is sealed. The tip of the cell, that is the metallic cap, act as a positive terminal, and the base of the zinc container act as a negative terminal. Actually here you can see that the tip of the cell, what? That is this metallic cap, it is acting as a positive terminal. You can see with a plus sign, that is a positive terminal, and the base here, this zinc container, that is a minus sign. So the base, that is a zinc container, is acting as a negative terminal. So here we can see that when we connect the tip of a metal cap and the base of the zinc with a metal wire, the current flows through it. So you can see that when we connect this electric cell, that is the metal cap and the base of the zinc with a metal wire, so what you can see, the current will flow through this. All electric cells have two terminals, that is positive terminal and the negative terminal. So you can see this electric cell, it is having two terminals, that is the positive terminal and the negative terminal. Electric cells are of different types. So here we are going to see electric cells of different types. For example, a pencil cell used in electric clock. An ordinary cell is used in a toy. So you can see that how we are using an ordinary cell in a toy. Then you can see this button cells, that is used in the corset watches and in the video games. A cell is a single unit, whereas two or more cells connected end to end is called a battery. Now here children, you can see that what? A cell is a single unit, but when these two cells are connected together, what? It is forming a battery. So here children, we can see that a group of cells connected together, what? It forms a battery, and this one is a car battery. Electric bulb. An electric bulb or a torch bulb has an outer case made up of glass that is fixed on a metal base. So children, here you can see that what? This electric bulb, the outer case, it is made up of glass. You can see in this picture, and where it is fixed, you can see that it is fixed on this metal base. Now children, we will see the internal structure of the bulb. So here we can see that it consists of a tiny thick wire called filament. So in this picture you can see this filament, it is consisting of what? A tiny and a thick wire, and the filament is made up of tungsten and is fixed to the two thick wires that provide support to it. Actually you can see this filament that is made up of tungsten, or it is fixed to the two thick wires. You can see these two thick wires, and it is providing support to it. Now one of this thick wire is connected to the metal case at the base of the bulb. Now you can see in this picture that what? One of this thick wire, it is connected where? To the metal case, you can see at the base of the bulb, whereas the other thick wire is connected to the metal tip at the center of the base. Now here you can see where is the other one connected? The other one is connected here, that is at the metal tip, the other wire, and the metal tip at the center of the base, and the metal case at its lower and act as a terminal to the bulb. Now children, you can see what this metal tip, what it is at the center of the base, that is at the center of the metal case at the lower end, and where it is connected to the terminal of the bulb. Here you can see. Now these two terminals of the bulb are fixed in such a way that do not touch each other. Now children, you can see that these two terminals, what you can see, it is fixed in such a way that it is not touching each other. You can see these two wires, it is not touching each other. When electric is passed through the filament of the bulb, the filament becomes hot and lights up. Now children, you can see in this picture that when the electricity is passed to the bulb, you can see that the bulb is glowing, it is becoming hot and it is emitting light, and the electricity is passed to this. Now children, we are going to see here activity 1. Aim: to light up a bulb with an electric cell. So we have to light up a bulb with an electric cell. So things that we need are what, children? We need 2 plastic coated copper wires. These are the plastic coated copper wires. Then we need an electric cell. Then we need an electric bulb and an insulated plastic coated tape. Now take 2 plastic coated copper wires. So we are going to take these 2 copper wires, and with the help of adult, means with help of any elder person, you have to remove this the plastic which is coated on this copper wires, and then so each copper wire so as to expose the bare wires, means we have to see this copper from inside. So because of with the help of adult, we have to just remove the plastic coating of this copper wires. Now children, here you can see in this first the bulb connected with the wires. Now you have to just fix this exposed part of wires wire to the electric cell. So now what you will do, children? Connect the other end of the first wire to the positive terminal. So this first we will connect this wire to the positive terminal and the second wire to the negative terminal of the electric cell. How we will connect? Just by the help of an insulating plastic tape, as you can see in this figure on the point C and D. Student, what do you observe? You will observe, children, in this picture what? The bulb glows. So you can use a bulb holder to fix the bulb and the wires as shown in the figure C. Actually, if you want to fix, so what you can use? You can use also a bulb holder to fix the wires as shown in the figure C. Now children, we are going to discuss activity 2. Aim: to connect an electric bulb with an electric cell in different ways, and then we have to see in which case the bulb glows. So children, here you can see the things that we need are what again? An electric bulb, electric cell, copper wires, and insulating tape, that is a plastic tape. Arrangement A. Method: to connect an electric bulb with an electric cell using copper wire in 6 different ways, and observe in each case whether the bulb glows or not. So children, here you have to connect an electric bulb with an electric cell using this copper wires in 6 different ways, and you have to observe, children, in which case the bulb will glow and in which case the bulb will not glow. So here we can see arrangement A. One end of the wire is connected to the positive terminal, that is the metal cap. So children, here you can see that the one end is connected by, it is connected to the positive terminal, and the other end of this wire is connected by, it is connected to the negative terminal, this wire 2, to the metal base of the cell. Now if the both the wires are inactive, means you can see that it is connected properly to the electric cell. So you have to observe, children, that the bulb lights up or not. So you can see, children, the bulb glows in the first case. Both the wires are connected properly, because of that only the bulb is glowing. Now children, we are going to see arrangement B and C. So in arrangement B, in this case we find that the wire 1 is broken and the bulb does not light up in this situation. So in this figure you can see, here you can see what? The wire 1, it is broken. Because of that what? The bulb is not glowing. So children, you can see the wire 1 is broken. Because of that the bulb does not light up. Now in the arrangement C, children, we can see in this case what? The wire 2 is broken. So the bulb does not light up. So again, children, in the case C, what we can see? That the wire 2, this red color wire 2 is broken. Because of that the bulb is not glowing. Now we are going to see arrangement D. Reverse the connection as mentioned in the arrangement A as shown in the figure 13.6D. Now children, what you have to do? You have to just reverse the connections. So what we have done? We have just connected this terminal to the positive, the green wire, and the other one to the negative terminal, that is a red wire. Now connect the positive terminal of the electric cell with the D terminal. So what we are doing, children? We are connecting the positive terminal to the D1, of the electric bulb, and the negative terminal we are connecting to the electric cell of the with the C terminal of the electric. Arrangement E and arrangement F. So children, here we can see in the arrangement E, connect both the terminals of the electric bulb only to the negative terminal of the cell. So children, what you can see now, this both the terminals we have to connect to the electric bulb only, that is from the negative terminal these two wires are going to the electric bulb. So the bulb will not light up as it is shown. So children, here we can see why the bulb is not lighting, because it is an open circuit. This it is not connected to the positive terminal, that's why the bulb is not glowing. So both the wires connect to the negative terminal, that's why the bulb does not light up. Why it is not lighting, children? Because both the terminals, why it is connected to the negative, that's why the bulb does not light up. Similarly, in the F case we can see, children, connect both the terminals of the electric bulb to the positive terminal of the cell. Now children, here we can see that both these wires are connected from the positive terminal to the electric bulb. So again you can see, children, the bulb does not light up. Why it is not lighting? Because both the wires are connected to the positive terminal, and again you can see it is an open circuit. It is not connected from the D terminal, it is from the negative to the D terminal. So that's why the bulb is not glowing and is an open circuit. So the bulb does not glow. Now here we will see conclusion. When there is a complete path from one terminal of the cell to the another terminal of the cell through the bulb, then only the bulb glows up in the arrangement A and D. Now here you can see in the arrangement both A and D that it is connected from both the terminals, that is from the positive to the negative terminal. That's why in the case A and D the bulb is glowing. And next you can see the bulb will not glow if a wire is broken. So you can see in the B and C case, here the wire 1 is broken in the B case, and the C case you can see that the wire 2 is broken. That's why the bulb will not glow. And in other case we can see, children, the bulb also does not glow if both the wires are connected to the one terminal of the cell. Now you can see this, both the wires are connected from the negative terminal. That's why the bulb is not glowing in this E case, and the F case also you can see, children, both the wires are connected from the positive terminal. That's why also the bulb is not glowing in both this E and F case. Electric circuit. The bulb glows only when there is a flow of electricity. So here we can see that the bulb is glowing only when there is a flow of electricity. On this picture we can see that the key is open, that's why the bulb is not glowing. On the second picture we can see, children, what? The bulb is glowing. Why? Because there is a flow of electricity. So the flow of electricity is what? It is known as what? Electric current. So here we can see, children, the current that is flowing from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. That is called what? Flow of electricity, and it is known as what? Electric current. So here we can see that is the direction of the flow of electric current. When we connect the one terminal of the cell to the another terminal of the cell through a bulb, we create a closed path and the bulb glows. Now here we can see that when we are connecting this one terminal, that is the positive terminal of the cell, and the another terminal of the cell, that is the negative, to the bulb. So what we are creating a closed path, and what happened, we can see that the bulb is glowing. So the path along which an electric current can flow is called electric circuit or a circuit. So what we can see here, the path along which what the electric current is flowing, that is called a electric circuit or a circuit. So here we are going to see open and closed circuit. When the circuit is complete, electric current flows through the circuit, and this is called a closed circuit. So here we can see that when the circuit is fully complete and the key is closed, so what we can see that the current is flowing, that's why it is called a closed circuit and the bulb is glowing. But in the open circuit, children, we can see that what? When the circuit is incomplete and the electric current does not flow through the circuit, as a result what? Bulb also does not glow. So such a circuit is called an open circuit. So here we can see the circuit is incomplete. Why it is incomplete? Because this key is open, and when the key is open, so the current also can't flow in this circuit, and you can see the bulb is also not glowing in this circuit. Such a circuit is called what? It is called an open circuit. Now here we can see that electric current flows in a particular direction, that is from the positive terminal towards the negative terminal of the cell. So in this picture we can see how the electric current is flowing. Here it is flowing from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. So in electric circuit, the flow of electric current is shown in the figure. So here we can see that by the arrow they are showing that how the current is flowing. It is flowing from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. So here we can see that the electric current is flowing and the bulb is glowing. Now here we can see the cell, the bulb, and the connecting wires all are the parts of electric circuit. So this all are the parts of electric circuit, that is the electric cell, bulb, connecting wires. This all are the part of electric circuit. Sometimes electric bulb even does not glow if the bulb is connected to the cell. This may happen if the bulb is fused. Now you can see what? Sometimes why the bulb does not glow? It does not glow. Why? Because the bulb is fused. The wires all connection is correct. Why it is not glowing? It is not glowing because the bulb is fused. Now here we will see how the bulb is fused. Electric bulb may be fused due to many reasons. So one reason we can see, children, how it is fused. The bulb to get fused is the breakage in the filament. So children, here we can see this filament. There is a breakage in the filament. Because of that, the bulb is got fused and the current is not flowing, and that's why the bulb is not glowing. A breakage in the filament means a break in the path of electric current between the terminal and the cell. So here what you can see, a breakage means what? In the filament. Because the filament is broken, that's why the bulb is not glowing. As we can see that the switches and this all are in proper connection. All the things that the filament is broken, that's why the bulb is not glowing. So therefore a fused bulb does not light up as no current passes through the filament. So why this fused bulb is not lighting? Because you can see that as no current is passing through the filament, that's why the bulb is not glowing. But the closed circuit, here you can see that the filament is not broken, it is proper. So that's why, and the switch is also on, that's why here you can see that the bulb will glow. In the previous activity, we have seen that the bulb glows when the circuit is complete and the bulb goes off when the circuit is broken. So in the previous activity, what we have seen, when the bulb was glowing when the circuit was complete, and when the bulb goes off when the circuit is broken, that is open. So in the daily life, children, completing and breaking circuit in this manner is not easy. So in everyday life, it is not easy for us. So for this purpose, what we are using, simple and easier and convenient arrangement, that is called electric switch. So nowadays what we are using this electric switch, because the open and close circuit is not possible for us nowadays in like this circuit. So now we are using what? In that place we are using this electric switch. Electric switch. An electric switch is a simple device that is used to open or close an electric circuit. So in this picture you can see that what? This electric switch, what it is, a simple device, and why we are using it to open or close the electric circuit. So children, when we are putting the switch off, so the circuit is getting open in the electric switch, that's why the bulb is not glowing. But when you are putting the switch on, so in that what, the circuit is getting closed. So because of that, we can see the bulb will glow. So now here we can see that switches come in various shapes and size. So we can see switches of different shapes and size. Sometimes we can see children what, that a switch is also referred as a key in electric circuit. So sometimes what we can see that switch is what is also what it is referred as a key in the electric circuit. Now here we can see that when the key is closed, the electric circuit is complete and the current is allowed to flow through the circuit. So in this picture you can see here this key, it is closed. So what we can see that the electric circuit is complete, and because of that all the current is flowing through the circuit and the bulb is glowing. And the appliances like a bulb or a fan, which is a part of the circuit, works. So here we can see children, the appliances like what, the bulb and the fan, it is a part of a circuit, that's why it is working. And when the key is open, the circuit is incomplete and no current flows and the appliances does not work. So in this picture you can see when the key it is open, so the current is not flowing, and what it is, an incomplete circuit, that's why the appliances also doesn't work like bulb or fan. Now children, we are going to see activity 3. Aim to construct a simple electric circuit. So now we are going to construct a simple electric circuit. What we need is, we need a piece of a thermocol, then we need a safety pin, then we need some drawing pins, then we need what, plastic coated wires, then we need a what, we need a torch bulb, this need a bulb, and then electric cell and a sellotape. So here we are going to see method. Insert a drawing pin into the safety pin and fix it in the thermocol sheet. Actually, this you have to take a thermocol sheet, you have to just insert the drawing pin into the safety pin and then into the thermocol sheet. So you see here you have done, you can see this. Make sure that the safety pin can be rotated freely. So you have to fix it like that so that the safety pin is able to rotate freely. Now fix the other drawing pin in a thermocol sheet in such a way that the safety pin can easily make contact as shown in the figure. Now what you have to see, now fix another drawing pin. You have to fix another drawing pin. Here you can see we have fixed another drawing pin in such a way in the thermocol sheet what, that the safety pin can be easily moved to make a contact with it. Now here children you can see, now make a circuit by connecting an electric bulb and the electric cell with the switch. Now what you have to do, you have to just use and what, electric cell, electric bulb, and you have to make a circuit. So turn the safety pin in such a way that it's free and touches the head of the other pin. Now what you have to do, you have to just turn the safety pin in such a way that it is just touching the end, that is to the head of the pin. So here children, you can see you have to just turn it in such a way that is touching the head of the drawing pin. So when it is touching the head of the drawing pin, you can see children what, the bulb glows. Now we are going to see children the second case. Now turn the safety pin so that it does not touch the head of the other drawing pin. Now children, again you have to just turn the safety pin in such a way that is not touching this drawing pin. So you can see children that when it is not touching the drawing pin, you can see what, the bulb is not glowing in this figure C. So now children, here we will see the observation and the discussion. From the figure B, you notice that the bulb lights up. So what you can see in the figure B, you were seeing that the bulb was lighting. Why it was lighting? Because the safety pin was just fixed into both this drawing pin. But now other case you will see children, this is because the circuit is complete and the current flows from one terminal to the another terminal. Why it was possible children? Why? Because the circuit was what, it was complete in the B1 and the current was flowing from the one terminal to the another terminal. So you can see children that the current was flowing from the one terminal to the another terminal of the electric cell, and what it was doing, it was helping the bulb to get glow. You notice that the bulb stops glowing when the safety pin does not touch the head of the other drawing pin as shown. Now here you can see what, you notice what children, that the bulb stops to glow, it is not glowing. Why it is not glowing? Because the safety pin is not touching the head of this drawing pin, that's why the bulb is not glowing. So why it is happening children? Here we can see, this is because the circuit is not complete. So you can see children, the circuit is not complete. Why? Because there is a gap. So you can see there is a gap between the drawing pin and the safety pin. So because of that, what children, no current is flowing from the one terminal to the another terminal. Why? Because there is a gap, that's why the bulb does not glow in this circuit. Conclusion. So children, here we conclude that when the switch is in the off position, the circuit is incomplete and hence no electric current flows and the bulb does not glow. So children, here we can see what, here you can see when the switch is in the off position, means here the switch is open and it is incomplete, that's why what, the electric current is not flowing and you can see that the bulb does not glow. But in the other case, you can see children, when the switch is in the on position, so you can see children, the switch is in the on position means what, the circuit is fully complete. So when the circuit is fully complete, what children, it will happen that the current will flow, and the current will flow, what will happen, the bulb will also glow. So in this case we can see children, the bulb is glowing. How does an electric torch works? So now we are going to examine the interior of the torch. So here children, we can see that in the torch there are how many, 2 or 3 cells, and it's placed in such a way, what children, that the positive end of one touches the negative end of the other cell. So children, you can see that the positive end, it is touching to the negative end of the other cell. These cells are in series and these cells are the source of electric current. So children, you can see what, these cells, what it is in series, one after the another, and these cells are what, it is the source of electric current. They are connected through a switch to the small bulb. Now you can see children, this switch, it is connected to a small bulb. So when you put the switch on, the bulb will glow. The negative terminal of the cell presses against the spring at the base of the torch. So children, here you can see that this negative terminal, it is just, the cell is pressing where, to the spring that is at the base of the torch, and the positive terminal of the cell is pressing against the metal tip. And you can see children, this positive terminal where it is pressing against the metal tip at the base of the bulb. Here you can see. So there are 3 metal strips, metal strip A as a part of a switch. So children, here you can see that there are 3 metal strips, metal A, metal strip B, and metal strip C. So here children, you can see that the metal strip A, that is, it is a part of a switch, whereas the metal strip B, here you can see, it is connected where, it is connected with the metal case of the bulb, and the metal strip C, you can see children, where it is connected to the spring. Children, here you can see that the metal strip B and C are fixed, while the strip A can be pressed and made to slide. So children, here you can see what, that the metal strip B and C, they are just fixed, but here you can see what, that the metal strip A, what, it is just what, so that we can just press and we can just make a slide. When the switch is pressed to the on position, the metal strip A is pushed forward so that it touches the B and the C, and the circuit is completed, which causes the bulb to glow. So children, here you can see what, when the switch is just pushed on, so what we can see that the metal strip A is pushed forward, and when it is pushed forward, so what, it is touching the B and the C, and what is happening, the circuit is getting complete, and you can see children that the bulb is glowing. When the switch is pushed to the off position, the contact between the metal strip A and B is broken and the circuit is incomplete. So here we can see that when we are putting the switch to the off position, the contact between the metal strip, that is between the A and the B, it is broken and it is incomplete. So that's why the current does not flow through the circuit. So the current is not flowing through the circuit, and that's why the bulb does not glow. Now we are going to see activity 4. Aim to test whether a material conducts electricity or not. Children, here we are going to see the things that we need are electric cell, a torch, bulb fitted with a holder, then connecting wires, that is the copper wires, then a paper clip made up of steel, and an eraser. Now children, here we are going to see the method. You have to make a circuit as shown in the figure. Children, here we have to leave a gap between the ends A and the B of the connecting wires. So here we can see this is a circuit. Here there is electric cell, then torch, bulb, and the connecting wires. And here we can see in the first circuit the gap is left. So what we have to now, we have to just add the paper clip in between the gap. So here you can see the gap is left. So leave a gap between the end A and B of the connecting wires. So here we have left the gap between the A and B, that is the connecting wires. Now connect a paper clip made up of steel between the free ends A and B of the connecting wires as shown in the figure. So now you have to do what you have to do. You have to just connect a what, paper clip which is made up of what, steel, between these free ends, that is between the A and the B as shown in the figure. Now here you can see, now connect an eraser between the free end A and B of the connecting wires as shown in the figure C. Now children, what you have to do in the other case, you have to just connect a eraser between these free ends, that is between the A and the B. Now children, you have to observe and see what is happening. So observation and discussion. So now you connect the steel clip, you see that the bulb lights up at once. So here you can see that when you have put the paper clip, that is which is made up of steel clip, you see what, children, the bulb is glowing. This means what, children, that the paper clip is what, it is made of steel and it allows the electric current to pass through it. So that's why the current is flowing and it starts to glow. So the bulb is glowing in this case, you can see. But when eraser is placed in the circuit, you see that the bulb does not light up. So you can see that when you are just, when the eraser is placed, you can see that the circuit, the bulb is not glowing. So here you can see that the bulb does not light up. This means that the eraser does not allow the electric current to pass through it. So here we can see what, this means what, that the eraser is not allowing the electric current to pass through it. That's why you can see no current is flowing, and that's why the bulb is not glowing. Repeat this activity with a small iron key, a sharpener, a coin, a pencil lead, etc., and record your observation. Now children, repeat this activity with a what, a small iron key, a sharpener, a coin, or a pencil lead. So children, you can see what, that with the help, when you will use this small iron key and a pencil lead, the current will flow, but when you will use the sharpener, the current will not flow. Conductors. The material that allow electric current to pass through them are called conductors of electricity. So children, here we can see the material that is allowing the electric current to pass through them. They are what? They are called conductors of electricity. So here some examples are there: copper, aluminum, and steel. Metals are good conductors of electricity. So children, here we can see there are some metals which are the good conductors of electricity. Electric wires are made up of copper because it is a good conductor of electricity. So children, here we can see that what? The electric wires, it is made of what? Copper. Why? Because it is a good conductor of electricity. Now among the non-metals, only graphite, pencil lead is made up of graphite and is a good conductor of electricity. So there are some examples in non-metal, that is a graphite, and in pencil lead you can see it is made up of graphite and it is a good conductor of electricity. So in this picture you can see with the help of this pencil lead we are able to glow this bulb. So here we can see children, switches, electric plugs, and socket, this all are made up of what? It is made up of conductors. Now children, here we are going to see about insulators. The material that do not allow electric current to pass through them are called what? Insulators. So children, here we can see the material that is not allowing the electric current to pass through them, they are called what? Insulators. So here we can see the example like rubber, plastic, glass, cloth, wood. These are the examples of insulators. So here children, you can see that what? Electricians wear rubber gloves while working with the electricity because rubber is a good conductor and protect them from electric shock. So here in this picture you can see that what this electrician, what he is wearing the rubber gloves while he is working with the electricity. Why? Because it is a good conductor, this rubber gloves, and is protecting them from the electric shocks. Now here you can see that rubber and plastic are used for covering electrical wires. So here you can see that this rubber is helping to cover this electrical wires, and plastics also we are using. Plugs, tops, switches and other parts of the electrical appliances that people might touch. So all the other things like plug, then switches and all this are covered with the plastic. Also electrical appliances. So you can see the switches all these are covered with the plastic. Electrical safety. The electricity which we use at home is generated at electric power stations and brought to our homes by thick cables. So here we can see that what this electricity, how it is, which is used at home, how it is brought to our home. So we will see that is from the power plants to the transformers and other, and then to our home. So we can see this how it is coming to our home with the help of the thick cables. So a person may get electric shock because our body is a good conductor of electricity. So children, here we can see that what the person can get electric shock. Why? Because it is a good conductor of electricity. So here we can see this picture, children, this bird is not getting the shock, but the person is getting. Why? Because the person is standing on the ground and you can see that the current is flowing from ear to ear. So because of that the person gets shock and the bird is not getting the shock. So we should protect ourselves from dangers and electric shocks. So we should protect ourselves from this dangerous electric shocks. So children, here we are going to see some preventive measures to avoid electric shocks are as follows. Replace the light bulb only when it is switched off and cool. So children, if you want to just replace the bulb, so what you have to you have to put the switch off and you have to just wait it to get it cool, and then only you can replace the bulb. Never touch electrical switches or gadgets when your body is wet. So children, in this picture you can see the boy is wet and he is trying to touch the electric switch, so he will get the shock. So what should you do? You should just dry yourself and then only should touch the electric switch, then you will not get the shock. Do not try to repair or install electrical wiring or appliances. So children, here we can see this picture, you should not just try to repair or install any electrical wiring or appliances in the house. You may get electric shock. Do not touch poles and transformers on the road. So children, you should not touch the poles and the transformers on the road. And do not touch a hanging wire on the road. This wire is hanging, so you should not touch the hanging wire on the road. If you will touch, you will get electric shock. Then never fly kites near overhead power lines. So children, what you should never fly the kites near the overhead power lines. You may get here also, you may get the electric shock if you are doing these things. Never join the electrical wires with the bare hands. So children, here you can see you should not join the electrical wires with the bare hands. If you will do it, you will get the shock. So children, thank you. Your chapter 13 electricity and circuit is complete.